Thank you. So, a story. I imagine that one of, if not the best thing about education, public school education, is that it gives you not only the ability to memorize and regurgitate information that is probably irrelevant to you in the present and future, but it allows you to decide upon an aptitude or an avenue that might be more relevant and let you hone those skills. So you have a broad array of different subjects, and you think, hey, this is for me. And that is, of course, where when I figured out that I was destined to be kind of an antagonistic smartass. Because around puberty, I had decided that I had had enough of school, but alas, school had not had enough of me. And being a suburban white kid in the late 80s and early 90s, it was not in the cards to leave school and travel the world or be a hobo or work in a factory or something. So I had to persevere, and realizing that the only way, because I felt like teachers were squares, they didn't have anything to offer me, and so I thought the only way for me to possibly have any stimulation or fun or excitement in my life during the times between 8 and 3 during the school day would be if I created that excitement myself, because the curriculum surely was not doing it, and certainly the curriculum delivery. So I took it upon myself to make a mess of most classes, and that resulted in me being suspended and getting detentions, being locked in closets, which actually did happen in public school, which seems unlikely, and my tour de force, I guess my moment in the sun would have been when I took a yardstick and a giant dollop of Vaseline, put it on the end of the yardstick, and we were gathered around as a bunch of 9th graders around a table while a science teacher was doing an experiment, and I came down with the yardstick onto his forehead and wiped the Vaseline across his forehead, and then made no attempt or effort to hide the yardstick, or just stood there like, there it is, what are you gonna do? And he chased me around. There was a giant guy, and he chased me around the table, and he threw me over the back of the table. And again, public school, so I was pretty proud of some of the things that were done to me in lieu of what should have been done by public school teachers to public school students. And then when I left school, I did what any person who didn't like school and thought teachers were squares and the curriculum was BS, that stands for, would do, and that was become a teacher. So I am now, and am just beginning my 17th year as a middle school teacher. Thank you. Thanks. It's exactly the way you'd imagine. It's exactly that. And when I first started, I had a disdain for the system and for the powers that be in teaching and teachers, and I kind of entered in the side door because I was an art teacher, and being an art teacher on the faculty is kind of like being the Maryland of the Munster. You're different than everyone else, and you don't know if you're better or they're better, but there's definitely a division there. And I was a mere 22 years old, and being in the faculty room felt like I was infiltrated, felt like I was behind enemy lines, and I was tremendously uncomfortable. So after 3 or 4 lunches at 22 years old, I decided that it would be more appropriate to dine with the middle school students. And that's what I did. I made friends with a couple of the 7th graders, and I would sit and I would eat with them. And as I said, I decided long ago, perhaps partially subconsciously, that being an antagonistic smartass was my thing, and I didn't turn that off sitting there eating with the middle school students. And this is how when it dawned on me that it was inappropriate for me to sit there, was because one time I think I had mentioned my at the time girlfriend, now my lovely wife and mother of my 2 children. Thank you. I mentioned something about her, and one of my friends at the table said, Mr. Marone, since you directed the play, which I did, and taught art, my mom thought you were gay. And I said, now remember, I'm this young man's teacher. Without missing a beat, I said, of anyone, your mom should have known better. With no thinking or filtering or forcing, just like that was my instinct, and I went for it. And then that table of middle school students laughed hysterically, so long and hard. The longer it went on, the more worried I got. Like, oh my God, I'm the teacher here in this scenario, and I'm insinuating that I just slept with his mother in an effort to one-upmanship, to protect my sexuality or reputation or something. So then I got nervous, and then of course I went home, and in my mind I had it all figured out about how I was going to be fired from that job for that comment, and that didn't come to pass. Of course, I am celebrating my 17th year, but that was my last dining experience in a middle school cafeteria, which arguably should have happened 10 years prior to that. Thank you.